Making a move, making a hustle, all in the making a ball. Pat. It's Pat on brands. Watch how you branded, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Let it be branded, man. A pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous, flawless, gorgeous, don't be cautious, cordless. Making a move, making a hustle, all in the making a ballers. Watch how you branded, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Let it be branded, man. A pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous, flawless, gorgeous, don't be cautious, cordless. Making a move, making a hustle, all in the making a ballers.
Wathinta Wafazi, Wathinta Bogoto, you strike a woman, you strike a rock. Welcome back to episode 2 of Pat on Brand's Dialogues, Flourishing Women's Edition. The Pat on Brand's Dialogues are all about sharing heartful stories. Last week, we kicked off the series on a very high note with Mpumi and Yona Lisa. Be sure to check that out on our YouTube channel, Pat on Brands, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Fortune Mbopo, Miss Mamelodi Sundowns Northwest 2021, and I'm also a founder of Inspire a Team. Today's storyteller needs no introduction. She has graced our screens on multiple occasions, representing our country as one of the players for Banyana, Banyana. She has recently also served on multiple occasions representing our country as one of the players for Banyana, Banyana. She has recently also graced our screens on multiple occasions. Be sure to give us on all different platforms using the following hashtags: POB Dialogues, hashtag Flourishing Women's Edition, hashtag MTN Plus. This episode is proudly brought to you by Lerato Agency, which is an agency that crafts brands that people love, and is also brought to you by MTN Plus, which is a network that is for the youth of Mzansi, and it also respects women that are all about empowering themselves and also empowering others. If you want to sign up on MTN Plus, be sure to dial *411# to get discounted data offers and also other benefits only if you are 25. Just to kickstart off this conversation, Thembi, once again, thank you so much for making the time to actually join us today. You can just start off now by just giving us a brief background about who you are and also tell us how you actually got the name of Muhlakeng's Finest.
Hi, Faith, Fortune, sorry. My, I'm very bad with names. Hi, Fortune.
Hi, Thembi.
Thank you for having me, guys, on the show. I know we're supposed to start early. I would love to
Yes.
apologize on my side because of unseen circumstances. Um, my name is Thembi Kgatlana. I come from Matlakeng. I was born and bred there. I come from a family of three siblings. So it's me, my brother, and my two brothers. And I lived with my mom and dad. And growing up in Motlakeng, I can't say it was tough, but it was like any other girl child or boy child for that matter who grows up in a community that has uh, lack of resources, especially looking at sports as a whole.
Mhm,
We looked up at people like Abu Upamanyesa, Abu Edward Mangail, Abu Isin Chudwing, because they came from Matlakeng, and to see
mhm,
them going out and furthering their careers, outside of a community that lacks a lot of opportunities to inspire the youth. I think it's something that also motivated me as a female footballer to want better for myself. And
mhm,
I think the name Motlakeng's Finest just comes from the fact that I come from Motlakeng, after
mhm,
a very long time of not having a person that is young and inspiring the youth out there. I think that's where, the people from Motlakeng started saying Motlakeng's Finest, because at that
mhm.
time I had just made my Banyana debut. I had just, started my professional career with Houston Dash and going to other countries.
Hmm. Okay, this is so interesting. I love the fact that you come from an area, that doesn't have like a lot of resources. But I mean, look at you right now. I mean, you're an international player. I think it's so inspiring, to hear, such stories. And would you say that soccer has always been your passion? I mean, when did you start playing soccer?
To be honest, I would be lying. I would be lying if I said soccer was my passion, because a lot of people, especially that watch football now, one thing you ask them about who Thembi is, or one of my traits is speed. So growing up, I've always been an athlete at school, but because
Mhm.
of the energy that I had as a child, I would play any sports. I would want to be busy with anything, because at some point I remember having a conversation with my mom, and she was saying, please choose what you want to do, because we can't understand what you want to do, and we can't fully support you. If there was athletics, I would be there. If there was gumboot dance, I was there. If there was singing, I was there. I just had so much energy that I felt like
Mhm.
I'm needed somewhere. But at that age, you don't know where you are needed, because everywhere you go,
Uh-huh.
you just feel so good. So I started off as an athlete. I was a long distance runner because I have so much endurance, and I was a short distance runner as well. I was doing 200 and 100 meters. So in a very long time in primary school, I specialized in running, and I got, I think, my first medal in running, and my parents thought I stole it because they've never seen me run before. So I think, um, for the longest time, I've been a runner, and I fell in love with football, and ever since I've been a footballer.
Oh, okay. Shoot, that is so interesting. When you said you've getting one person that has been all over. I feel like that is actually me. I mean, when I was in high school, I was just all over. But I love the fact that with my parents, I wouldn't say they didn't really care much about what I was doing, but they're one of those parents that just say, what, we trust you enough to make your own decisions. But I've just been one person that has just been all over. Just trying to find that one thing that I really enjoy doing, because I mean, there is so much that I enjoy doing. So I just do everything. But yeah, the next question is, flourishing means growing healthy and vigorously, because of a conductive environment. How would you depict your growth, on and off the field? What were the factors that actually contributed to your growth?
There are a lot of factors that contributed to my growth. Um, I come from humble beginnings. Like I say, we had no opportunities, and every time I wanted to play soccer or wanted to run, we would always get on buses, get on cars to go out there and look for opportunities. So for me, that's the philosophy that I've had, that if I don't do something about getting out of Motlakeng to look for opportunities, I will always be stuck here, because I was looking at the people that were a bit older than me, let's say about 5 years, who were good, and didn't get enough opportunities because of the community that we grow in, and they were still there. So for me to be the person that I am, I had to grow in character, and in character is also being sure of, when I go here, I'm gonna be putting everything that I have. I'm gonna be sacrificing everything. And I think it started at home when I was 16, and I got my first scholarship to go to the High Performance Center, which is an academy for football players in Pretoria, under Taxport, which is University of Tax. And for me, it was difficult because all my life, ever since I was born, I've always spent time in Motlakeng. And for me to get such an opportunity, it came as a good opportunity, because then I had to leave to go study in Pretoria, and have all the other things that I didn't have every
Yeah.
day. The training, the
Mm,
nutritionist, the gym, everything was being set for me. And it was a matter of me deciding, and having the pressure of my parents as well, because they've never supported me up to that point when I got a
mm,
scholarship, because I've always felt, but sports is, I mean, football is for boys, because in the communities that we grow, come from, women's
mm.
football is not. as big as it is in Europe, and
True.
it's difficult for our parents to trust us and to believe that
Mm,
there's opportunities in football. And it was difficult for my parents, for that matter, to say that we are letting you go out there to that school and see what it can give you. And I think that's where everything else changed, because I knew that I'm making a decision of changing schools. It's not
mm,
easy. From a black school
yeah.
to a private school, it's not easy. The standard of education is three, four
Very
times
hard.
higher
True.
than what we get. And the school, because it was a private school, they were like, 20 is a lot, about 20 in a class if you guys were a lot uh,
Mm,
uh, subject, but minimum would be about 15 or 10 in a class. So teachers knew everyone. They knew your standard. They
mm,
knew your progress. So for me, it was a huge transition, and I had to come up. I had to show my character. I had to show that I'm strong. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to go forward. In order for me to become a better player as well, because everything else was being set for me on the pitch.
mm. Yeah, you know what you just said right now, it just reminded me of something that you actually love saying. You love saying everything depends on you. In a world where a lot of people like making excuses whenever things don't go well for them, how would you say, that came about? I mean, you just telling yourself all the time, like everything depends on you. Have you always been this independent person? Have you always been the strong person that is just positive? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I've had a lot of energy, and I think that is what sets me apart. My I always make sure that everywhere I go, my energy is felt, not in a matter of I know things or I'm better than anyone, but I have to be energetic for my own sake, because I feel like if I'm holding myself back, then I won't fully express myself. And my energy has been something that has set me apart from anything. I go to training, I bring the energy. I'm with my friends, I bring the energy. Every time, in every circumstances, I bring my energy. And having to go to the high performance center, I think this is where I got to interact a lot with myself, because my parents were not there. I had to take care of myself. But even though there was a mentor who was taking care of us, we had to do our laundry, we had to do our schoolwork. Everything depended on me. So I couldn't say my
Mm,
parents have to help me for homework, or my mentor had to do it. They treated us as professionals. So they know when it's 6 o'clock and you have to be in the
mm,
gym, you have to be there. It depends on you to go
mm,
to gym, to be early or to be late. You have to go to
mm.
school. It's up to you. Whatever that you
Yes.
do, every single decision is up to you. So you can choose to not go to school and it will lead to something else. You can choose to go to school and it still lead to something else. So whatever you
True.
do depends on you. And I think for the longest run, that has been my motto. Everything
Mm,
depends on you. I have homework, and my friends want us to go out in university. It depends on me whether I choose
true
to go out or I choose to
or
study.
not.
Or do you understand? Because everything has consequences. You do good, there's consequences.
Mm,
You do bad, there's
mm,
consequences. So at the end of the day,
mm.
all your choices depend on you.
Wow. Coming to think of that, that is actually very, very powerful. That's a very powerful word. And I feel like, to everyone that is watching right now, this is something that you need to note down. I mean, everything really depends on you as a person. If you really want to succeed, it depends on you. Are you going to put in your 110%, or are you not going to put in the effort? I think with a lot of people, they don't really like putting in all the effort. They like being spoon fed, which is something that is very bad, and they don't realize it. You come as a person maybe from a disadvantaged background, when there's not a lot of resources, at home, ke batho e le goreng la sokola. And then you start using that as an excuse. I'm not going to succeed. No, I'm not going to be a doctor. No, I'm not going to be a soccer player, just because of your circumstances. You know, Forgetting everything really depends on you. Are you going to now use the kind of background that you come from as a motivation to tell yourself, I can actually change this. I can actually be the first person from my community or the first person from my family to actually go to university and succeed. So really, everything really depends on us as people. I really, really love that motto so much. And you spoke again something about getting women in sports not really taken seriously, especially in our country. what do you think is that one thing that can actually be done, especially in our country, just so that a lot of people can start, taking it very seriously, be it maybe people from the soccer department or just people that want to be in sports. But I mean, right now, because it's not being taken seriously, I think people are a bit cautious or unsure if it's something that they should actually, take part in. So yeah, what is your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot
Oh, okay.
you have to consider. You understand,
Uh-huh.
Fortune. Like you're saying, we come from different backgrounds, but most, not even most, many of us come from disadvantaged background, disadvantaged communities, and it was the structure that was set for us. I don't want to bring the cut race here, but we have to be honest and we have to realize that we are playing a game here, uh, and that game is called life. So opportunities are there, opportunities are everywhere, it's up to you to want to say, I want to change the circumstances of my family. I want to change the person that I am today. If you look yourself in the mirror, are you happy that you guys have to fight over 4 slices of bread, or you guys have to share 1 cup of coffee? It really doesn't make sense. You understand? So at the end of the day, this is where you have to get ideas of the kind of life that you want for yourself, and once you know where you want to go, it's going to require so much from you in terms of the discipline, in terms of the dedication, and in terms of understanding, and it goes hand in hand with school, because if you come from a poor background and you want to leave school at grade 9, do you have a plan? For me, if you have a plan that's going to help change the circumstances of your family,
Go
we
for
have
it.
nothing to dispute about. You understand?
Mm, mm,
But also we have to be realistic. If you leave
mm,
school to stay at home, what are you going to do at home? Because you're gonna be that plus one that's adding more problem to the home or to the household for that matter. But if you keep on going at school, you can be motivated. Of course, we can argue a lot about the system of our schools in South Africa. But at the end of the day, this is where opportunities are. For example, I look at myself of how I went to a sports school, which is the High Performance Center. From there, I went to study.
hello.
From there, I went to study at UWC. From UWC, I went to become a professional. But in everything that I did, I was a student athlete. I was playing football, and I was a student. So going to school really helped me because it brought the opportunity of being a student and of being an athlete. So going to school is important. If you have an opportunity, it's good to pursue the opportunity. But if not, go to school, learn something, because at the end of the day, you might need whatever that you learned at school to better yourself in life.
Mm, 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 mm. And I think, I mean, considering that, I mean, sports is, I feel like it's also something that is very unpredictable. A lot can happen. You can get injured, and then the next thing, your soccer career is over. Now imagine if you're the kind of person that just left school and just went for this passion or something that you really love doing. So it's always good to try and balance things, Yes, go follow your passion and go and do sports, but also try and be educated, get the degree and know that, okay, not if sports doesn't work out or if I'm injured in the near future, then you know that, okay, you can stop this career, the soccer career, and actually pursue something else, and I think you just answered, the other question, because the other question was how important is education to you? Because I mean, with chapter 16, you speak about, books and boots, and you also, I mean, your experience at TUT and also UWC, so maybe you can just add on to that, for how important is education to you?
Education to me is important. I highly recommend it. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I would be lying if I said I'm here because of all the hard work and everything. No. The fact that I chose to go to school, these opportunities came with going to school. We see
Mm-hmm.
how universities like TUT, like UJ, like UWC give out scholarships still to think are good enough to join their team. So if you are not smart enough to get into university, how then will you acquire playing for a team like UWC? And that team now is set apart from itself because they play in the Varsity Cup. That's another stage to showcase your talent. You have a chance to go to the World Student Games, which is like the mini Olympics for universities. So there's a lot of opportunities that can come with going to school. So if you say you don't want to go to school yet you want to be a professional player, for me it's, I don't know, it's a bit tricky because you have to go to school until you're at a point where you say this opportunity is good enough for me to, leave everything that I've been doing. And then you are clear on what you want to do at that point. And I think chapter 16 of my book clearly states that a lot of times I had to choose between school and books. I mean, school and books. And at this point, it was tricky because in 2014 I was doing my matric. I got my first call up to Banyana, and we know how demanding matric is. Believe me, believe it or not, I went to matric for 6 months. But because of the commitment, I had to, be out of school to join Banyana in camp. But when I was in camp, I knew there was time to play football. And when I come back, there's time for me to study. And that way I had a good balance because at the end of the year, I passed my matric with an average of 83%, and I got two distinctions. So for someone that hasn't been at school, that is great. That is great because I knew I had to be committed to finishing matric, and not only for myself, but because of the doubts that my parent had that Vele, if you play football, you will leave school. But I had to show them like it's possible to do two things at the same time and still put the same energy and effort in it. And later again, it happened. I think 2 years later in 2016, when I was doing my second year in UWC, I had to stop because that year was demanding. I had to stop my studies. That year was demanding for me because Banyana had qualified to go to the Olympics. So I had to choose at this point which one is highly important for me. Yes, school will always be there, but I needed school. But at that point, going to the Olympics is a a lifetime opportunity. And I was only 20. If I say no to going to the Olympics, I don't know. I might never go to the Olympics again. And for me, I think a lot of times going to school and taking up opportunities of being a footballer has always, been up and down. And finally, I think in 2018, when I got a really good offer from Houston Dash to be a professional athlete, I had to choose to leave school permanently and be a professional player permanently, And I mean, those decisions are not easy because at the end of the day, you have to see where your energy is needed. And I felt like it was time for me to get out of the country and showcase my talent. If I ever wanted to be a professional to go into me making better decisions for myself.
Yeah. The reason I've just been doing this and laughing, as we're speaking is because my varsity years, I had the same problem, like I said, there's so much that I do. I do pageants. Besides pageants, I also got like community projects that I do. It's school. It's just a whole lot. There's a lot of things that I do, and I'll tend to get like a question like, Fortune, how do you manage to succeed in everything that you're doing? How do you actually? And I always tell people, it's all about prioritizing. I mean, like you said, at some point school was important, and then you had to say, okay, no, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to focus on school now. But at some point your boots needed you more than your books. You're like, okay, no, let me put this aside. So I can actually really relate to what you're saying, because at some point I thought like, oh my goodness, God, can't I just be a part-time student? Because now I can't go and attend this camp, and I really, really want to go and attend this camp. But now I can't go because I've got exams, But at least if maybe I was a part-time student, my schedule would have been a lot easier, So it was all about now, Fortune, what's important to you right now? Are you going to now attend this camp or this pageant, or are you going to focus on school? But I'm glad that in everything that I did, I managed, at least now I have a degree, and also with my pageant career, it's going well. Right now I'm in one of the biggest pageants in South Africa, which is Miss Mamelodi Sundowns. And with also my other stuff, I feel like everything is just slowly but surely coming together. So I think to everyone that is watching right now, need to really learn how to really prioritize. If there's a whole lot that you love doing, try and go for it. But then again, prioritize. If something is important to you at that time, go for that one and put the other one aside. Try and balance as well. And I also feel like it's important also to have, the right support system. Maybe you can also just tell us about that, because I mean, if you don't have the right support system, if you don't have the right friends, it's going to be tough. This journey is really, really going to be tough, because I mean, imagine now you have to attend training, come on, it's school, but now your friends are now nagging you, say, oh, let's go out. Confused, okay, what am I going to choose now? Am I going to choose my friends? Am I going to choose soccer? Am I going to choose my books? So how did you handle that? I mean, maybe there are like certain challenges that you had in terms of the people that were around you, or maybe the people that are still around you. How important is it for you to have the right people in your life in order for you to succeed in each and every single thing that you do?
So in everything that I try to do, the number one thing uh, I remind myself of is stability. You know, stability is everything. You need to be stable in everything that you do. So everything that I did had to include being stable, and stability is difficult. I must say, people, I think a lot of people look at me and they think, oh, she's living her life, she's doing everything. No, it's stability. You tell yourself you do this and you stick to it, even when there's a lot of circumstances, or there's a lot of anxiousness that comes with you making a decision. Stick to your decision. That's you being stable. And if you want to go to school, I mean, friends will always be there. And if your friends really care about you, they're going to let you go do whatever that is important to you, because friendship is not about sitting like this face to face or partying or whatever. Sometimes friendship is, hey, let's hang out over the weekend because I'm available. If I'm not available, as my friend, I expect you to understand that my life is my priority. As much as you are my friend, I will prioritize you. But right now, everything is about me. And once I've gotten or touched what I want to get, then it will be clear, because then at that point I will stop chasing. I will have been playing for Atletico Madrid. Then I would be in within the circles to know on Sundays I'm free. On Mondays I have training, and then I do this and I do that. Then you can plan around your friends. But I see the generation that we live in. Our friends play so much of a big role in our lives. Hence, they always say, "Oh, you need to choose your friends wisely." If you want friends, they will always come. That for sure, I know. Your personality will attract people for sure, And if you feel like you are not growing with your friends, it's about time you prioritize yourself. It's about time you are stable. It's about time you put yourself first. Because most of the time, you're like, oh, Fortune is going there to Miss Sundowns, Erike Mokap. You are helping Fortune get closer to a dream. What are you
Wait,
doing to get closer to a dream?
mm,
You understand? So as friends, we need to be realistic. Okay, Fortune, you are going to Miss Sundowns. Today I'm available. I can go with you. But today or the next day I'm not available because I also have an interview. I also have this. I want to write a CV. I want to do this. As friends, we have to be realistic and help each other in within. Because for me, I feel like the world is changing so much and so fast, and there's opportunities everywhere. So if you say your friends are this and you are happy following your friends around and your life is just stagnant, you have to look yourself in the mirror and truly analyze and say, what is it that I want? Because Fortune is doing this, Fortune is doing that, and she has so many things that she's doing. And why is she successful? Because she is prioritizing herself there. So it's about time you look yourself in the mirror, set some goals for yourself, be strict, be stable in everything that you do. Then you will see a lot of progress coming your way.
yeah. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. And guys, please don't forget that there is an awesome giveaway that is going to happen as soon as we're done with this chat. But you just really need to just comment, let us know, if you have any questions for Thembi or I, please just comment them down below. And after this live session, we're just going to take through, those comments, questions that you have, and then she'll answer them, guys. And hey, stand a chance, to win Thembi's book, Strike a Rock, only if, you comment, you ask questions, you engage with us, there's going to be a question, there's going to be asked, and you just need to answer. And stand a chance to win that book or one of two Samsung A31s. So you really want to win that, right? You really want to win that. So guys, please really comment on all social media platforms using our hashtag, which is hashtag POB Dialogues, hashtag MTN Plus, hashtag Flourishing or Editions. I can't wait to read those questions and for Thembi to answer them. And just to continue this conversation, my next question for Thembi is, the importance of mentorship. She's just going to share more for it. How important is mentorship to her? Does she have a mentor? Or yeah. Can you, okay, sorry, I couldn't see you for a minute. Just tell us, how important is mentorship to you? Do you have a mentor or not?
I don't have a mentor. I don't have a mentor, but I have people who are helping me rather as close as it is. There's so much that I'm doing. Especially being a professional athlete, it's not easy. So you would need people who are
Hello? Is Thembi still here with us? I can't see or hear her. Hello? I don't know what is happening with the network, but we're just going to wait up until everything is sorted out. I think while we're still waiting, please guys, just, ask as many questions as possible so that as soon as everything is sorted out, then we'll just get onto the questions that you guys have to ask Thembi, and then maybe you might just stand a chance to win. Maybe you are a winner for today. What's happening? Oh, she's back. Hi. Hi, Thembi.
Hello.
Yes, you were gone for a minute.
This phone says it's overheating, so it keeps on closing and cutting me. It's gonna close again soon. I'm trying to find a solution on what I need to do.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I actually thought it's my network since I was having network problems. Oh, she's gone again. But yeah, guys, please let us know what you actually think of this conversation that we're having right now with Thembi. Please keep the conversation going on all social media platforms, using our hashtags, hashtag POP Dialogues, hashtag Flourishing Women's Edition, hashtag MT and Pulse. Please just let us know. What do you think of this conversation? I mean, with Thembi, considering the fact that she comes from a community where there wasn't much. But right now, guys, she's international. She's really, really doing absolutely amazing. And I think it's something that we also really need to learn from her. There's a quote that I actually really love, like from Michelle Obama. She says, "There is no limit to what we as women can achieve." And I think she is one of those people that we can actually look up to and say, hey, we as women can actually do great things. We are not limited. We can actually go for it. Everything really depends on us. Please share your messages. Okay, so I'm just going to share a bit more about my Miss Mamelodi Sundowns journey, as we're waiting for Thembi. So I started my pageant journey in 2017, with Miss Gauteng Exclusive, which was a pageant that was just focused on, women empowerment. It just said, come as you are. And I was just like, I've always wanted a platform where I can actually amplify my voice. Let me just go for it. And I went for it, and I didn't win. And then, luckily enough, with my second pageant, which is Miss Prime South Africa, and pageant director is Les Komulamo, I actually won. And it was, I don't know, I wouldn't say I was shocked, but I was shocked considering the fact that I was competing with people that have been in this industry for like more than 10 years, people that have multiple titles. At that time, I'm just coming as Fortune. I don't have the perfect walk. I don't have like a huge history when it comes to pageantry. So already I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? But luckily enough, I actually won. I remember I won for the best interview, public choice, and also got the main title. So with Miss Mamelodi Sundowns, it was also a bit of tricky, because I was just like, Fortune, are you going to do this? I mean, this is a really big platform, and there's so many people that have been entering for more than 5 years. Some were still rejected for getting even with the fifth attempt, and you are just now going to enter now. Are you even going to make it? So I was a bit, I don't know, I was a bit stressed, but I went for it. I went for it trusting that, what, this is really, really my time, and considering, the vision of, Miss Mamelodi Sundowns, which is all about empowering women. They're celebrating the 10th anniversary this year, if people don't know. And the theme is I am empowered, and I'm a very empowered, young woman that is all about empowering other women, especially young girls. I'm extremely, extremely passionate about empowering young girls to lead. And I thought, like, I mean, Miss Mamelodi Sundowns is such a huge platform for me to be able to, reach out to many more girls or young women, so that we can have an empowered nation and a nation of women that believe so much in the power of their dreams, women that believe that, what, if I want to do this, I'm going to do it. Just like Thembi said, everything really depends on us. She believed that, one day she'd do, amazing in this industry. And I mean, look at her now. She's doing amazing. So this is something that I really, really want to do, for the young girls in my community. There is one girl that I've been working with since 2017. When I met this young girl, she was actually very shy. She wanted to be part of, the media industry. She wanted to be a radio presenter and also just be a TV personality. But now imagine, she was just so shy. And also, she also getting considered the fact is, what are people going to say? When you want to do something, but you're always scared, and also the pull her down syndrome, which is something that is still happening right now. So I feel like that also discouraged her. But on my mentorship program with her, it was focused on really, empowering her to believe in herself and also just really instilling confidence in her so that she can believe in herself more, which is something that I always tell people, get it. It's so important for us as people to really believe in ourselves more than other people. Because, I mean, if you believe in yourself, if you're confident in your abilities, or if you're confident in yourself, then nothing is really going to stand in your way. If right now you believe, you know what, I am going to pass that test, I'm actually going to do well in 1 to 3, then no one is going to stop you. Imagine now there's a business that you want to start, and you go to your friend and say, hey friend, I actually want to start that beauty business or whatnot. I don't know what you want to start today. And this friend is like, Chomi, you're not going to do well. So now imagine if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to do it. But if you really believe in yourself, you're actually going to take that risk and say, not, I am going to do it. Jorge Fortune believes in my dream or not, I'm actually going to do it. So it's something that I really try by all means to instill, and like I was saying with that girl, she went from being this shy girl, a girl that didn't really believe in herself, to a girl that is now really doing incredible in this presenting thing. She is one of the hosts for DJ Swoosh Show. I don't know if you guys know it, Homegrown Radio. And also with getting Massive Metro, she's one of the presenters there, and she's doing amazing things. And I was just like, if I can do something like that for her, how many more girls can I actually really now empower? So I'm grateful to the opportunity that Miss Mamelodi Sundowns has actually given me, for me to be able to amplify my voice, for me also to just, reach out to many more, young girls and women, being given such platforms, by patron brands to be able to engage with other women. Because I think in as much as this is just a conversation between me and Thembi, but this is also just, a learning curve for me, a chance for people to just know more about what I do, a chance also for other people to see that, what, there is so much that we can actually do only if we believe in ourselves. And yeah, man, it's just been a really crazy journey, but we're doing it, we're doing it, and I'm just hoping for the best. I'm hoping that maybe in the next few months, I'm not just going to be Miss Mamelodi Sundowns Northwest, but I'll be Miss Mamelodi Sundowns 2021. And if you just want to stay tuned for my journey, please check me out on all social media platforms. Fortune Mbopo on Instagram, and also on Facebook, and on Twitter it's at Nomvula28. I post so much about the pageant, any updates. I also post about the projects that I do. There's a project that I'm going to launch in the next couple of weeks, and yeah, it's going to be so exciting. It's for young girls and also young women, in different communities. So guys, please really stay tuned for that. It's going to be super exciting. Maybe if you want to be part of it, then you can just also let me know, via DMs. Don't worry, I do reply DMs. I do reply DMs. Let me just check if there is also another question. What's my next move? Wow. What's my next move? I'm one person that does not, I wouldn't say I don't plan stuff. I really plan stuff, but I'm a spiritual person. I'm a spiritual person. I believe in whatever God places in my heart. In as much as I can have so many plans about my life, I just allow God to speak something to me, and then I go for it, because I don't want to do everything all at once. Like right now, I'm just really focused on investing my time and energy in the Miss Mamelodi Sundowns pageant so that I can actually do amazing. So right now, it's just me really trying to juggle school as I'm doing my honors at the moment. It's me trying to juggle in between school and also Mamelodi Sundowns on my other projects, but just to try and give you an idea, after Miss Mamelodi Sundowns, my plan is to actually, join Miss South Africa, start my journey with Miss South Africa. So I'm hoping that things are gonna go well. But yeah, next week, I almost said next week. Next year, I'll be part of the class of 2022 of your Miss South Africa. So please stay tuned for that. Please just stay tuned for that. Okay. So we're going to do the giveaway, so all you need to do is to answer the question. And remember, guys, this is like a first come, first serve. So the first person to answer this question is gonna win a book, a signed copy, guys, not just buka fela, a signed copy of Strike a Rock by Thembi Kgatlana. Oh my goodness. But it's fine. I think I just gave away the answer right now, but it's okay. What's the title of Thembi's book? And she's back. But yeah, as we just, I know we're still waiting. So we just asked people to take part in the giveaway. And then I'll just wait for them to answer. But then I'll just read out the winner after we've completed the getting our session. So yeah,
Okay.
guys, please just let me know what is the title. Ne? Title, the name of the book, the name of Thembi's book. Please let me know on the comment section and wait until we're done to know if you are our winner or not. Yeah, so Thembi, are we good now? Is your phone
Yeah,
okay?
100%.
Oh, thank God. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. So the last question that I actually asked you, was the importance of mentorship to you, whether or not you have a mentor.
I don't have someone that's mentoring me. Ngiyahlupha, in my own way. And I like things to be like straight,
Yeah.
because especially when I'm with my team or when I'm playing soccer, I want my mind to be there. So if I have to talk to someone now and then, I feel like it's not gonna take up my time, but sometimes it's difficult, and I mean for me, and this is my personal opinion. For me,
Mm-hmm.
coming back from training and I have a session with someone to tell me how to live life or what to do, how to guide me. For me, I feel it's a lot. It's a lot for me personally. So I prefer having people I work with, um, people who guide me now and then, not necessarily be my mentor, because I feel like that's too much work. Someone has to follow you around. Hey, I don't like
Yeah.
this, I don't like that. At the end of the day, you like not living your life fully, you know. But yeah, I don't have a mentor because I prefer having so much time to myself, so that I can be able to do a lot of things with my time.
Hmm. Interesting. I think this is just one of the reasons why I also don't have a mentor. I know people are always asking me this question. Fortuna, how are you handling everything? I mean, who is helping you? I don't have it. I really don't have a mentor. Everyone that is watching, if you know me, I don't have a mentor. Like, I really don't
Mhm.
have a mentor because I think it's difficult to actually find a person that can understand you, a person that is not going to dictate your life. Because I think the last thing that I want is a person telling me how to live my life.
Mhm.
With all the girls that I mentor, I always just tell them, "Kere, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I'm basically going to help you here and there. And I'm also just going to try and, I wouldn't say I live my life because, I mean, I live my life the way that I live it because of other people, but this is just me, but I try
Yeah.
and use my life in a manner where a person that can actually learn from me. So that's what I always tell them. Get it? I'm not gonna say do this. I never do that to them. I never say do one, two, three, but I always try and just live in such a manner that they can actually learn a thing or two from me. And I'm thankful that at least they're learning. But
Yeah.
this thing is definitely more to add and then try and detect your life. No, do this, don't do that. I feel like that is going to be a bit tricky for me because I know what I want and I know how I want to live my life. But now if
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you about something, you're going to say to me, no, do it in this way. Then it's a bit of tricky for me. I'd rather go on YouTube and just follow my role models and say, okay, what did they say? Or just search about certain topics that I feel like I need to be, educated in and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go to one of the questions that one of the viewers just asked us. So one of the questions is from an enthusiastic Garth, and it's from YouTube. How did you juggle struggling with food and having a decent diet for football?
To be honest, these things they come as you get high in football and successful.
Mm-hmm.
Playing in Mohlakeng, Ekaya, we didn't have all these salads and all. We had pap and meat. That's staple
Mm,
food. You get it,
eat
you eat.
everything.
You're out of there. There's no mom, Barry. We must have salads, and no, you eat what you eat, and your body's used to that. But I mean, there's a lot of things that are changing, and so is your body for that matter. If I eat pap and meat every day, Monday to Sunday, it will affect me so bad, because
Yeah.
now the transition over the years that my body got used to eating healthy food, used to eating this and this, it's difficult to change. But at the start, I was not even thinking about I have to eat salads and whatever. I ate what I had because at that time that's what I got from my parents.
Yeah.
And it helped me for the long run to be able to play soccer. But once I started being a professional player and getting into a system of eating healthy food and having diets and whatever, I had to change. And it was difficult because then my body used to eat pap and meat every day. But now I have to change. So it took time for me to adjust. I can tell you, even when I go back to South Africa, the last time I was in South Africa with the national team, I had stomach cramps. I thought I was dying because of the transition of food, European food and food in South. We eat so much spices. We want the chakalakas and whatever, and in Europe it's just easy, less salt or minimum and less sugar. So your body is used for a year. Imagine 2 years of I was in South Africa and I was just eating European food. So when I had to go to South Africa, I wanted to eat everything that I could put my hands on, but the disadvantages were now my body was now being shocked on what is it that I'm eating, trying to adjust as well. And yeah, it was not an easy journey because that week was really terrible for me.
I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't know that it's so important to actually keep up with like a strict diet. I think since all you've mentioned it, tell us about your diet, like in a week. Like what do you eat? Like in a week
But
or like
that's the
what do
problem.
you
There is no diet. I hear people saying, hey, you must eat little or no. I can tell you that over the years of teams that I've played for, we have nutritionists, and these people say to us, we need to eat 4 to 5 times a day. So when you tell me about a diet, it becomes difficult. So here's the trick. In the 4 to 5 times a day, it's your breakfast. So it's your three big meals. It's your breakfast, it's your lunch, it's your dinner. And in between, you have to have your snacks. Do you understand? So Tina South Africa like ngidla ekuseni, ngidla emini, and then ngidla
eat?
ebusuku. In
That
between, you are stuck. That is why I never went like I'm on diet. No, I would rather say I need to eat rice and keep your rice and figure something else. You keep my eating and figure something else, but I still make sure. And one thing about me, I love food. I eat a lot because I run a lot. I have to replace everything that I lose.
I mean, who doesn't love food? Hi, people who don't love food. I don't understand them, but it's okay. That's a
Yeah,
story for that.
bakona, but
Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
Bye. What do you think needs to be done, for women in sports to flourish, especially in South Africa?
There's a lot, a lot.
Yeah,
I
let's talk
hear,
about it.
I
Let's
hear
talk
and
about
see
it.
people's opinions on social media that it's about finances, it's about sponsors. For me, getting money and getting sponsors. That's the easiest thing that can be done for women's sports in the country. What we need is now teaching our players discipline, dedication, hard work. Because at the end of the day, you can make so much money outside of being a professional player in everything that you do. So for me, it's a lot. There's a lot that needs to happen before we get to the financial part of it. Are your players disciplined enough to attract sponsors? Are your players working hard enough to be at the top to attract sponsors? Because whatever that you do, at the end of the day, we have to go out and attract sponsors. But sponsors, of course, they want you. You look at example of Messi, Neymar, and Ronaldo. They want people who perform so that they can be able to bet on them. So with sponsoring, it's betting. Do you understand? We can make an example with Mamelodi Sundowns. They have the players that they have because they know that they want to win Champions League, they want to win the league, they want to win that. And through them acquiring those players, sponsors come. Why? They like the kind of players that Mamelodi Sundowns has acquired. People with discipline. They want people who are going to represent the brand. Because once I signed for Atletico Madrid, it's no longer Thembi Kgatlana. It's Thembi Kgatlana, the Atletico Madrid player. Thembi Kgatlana, the Banyana player. So imagine me going out holding Savannah, wherever. When people post on social media, they don't say Thembi Kgatlana. It's no longer about me, but it's about the people that I work with, the people that I associate myself with. And for me, that's the huge thing that we need to be teaching women in sports about right now in the country, because I feel like once we can work on making sure that that aspect is good, then we are able to attract any sponsor to be able to improve the game financially.
Thank you so much. We're about to wrap up, so I've got like one last question for Thembi, and to everyone that is listening, don't forget to answer the question that we had so that you can win the book. So I'm going to ask the question again. What's the name of Thembi's book? And the first person that answer is going to score herself a signed copy from Thembi Kgatlana. And yeah, one last question for you, Thembi. What's that one thing that you actually learned in South Africa that you took along with her? Something that no matter how far you get in life, you will never forget.
I come from humble beginnings. Humble beginnings, and for me, that is what I carry with me everywhere I go, because things will change, and a lot of things will still, come, things that I never used to get in South Africa. And for me, that makes so much of a difference in my life. So the fact that I come from humbling beginnings makes things to be so much easy, to know that even if I play for a club as big as Atletico Madrid, I'm able to be humble and remember where I come from, because we get into these big teams, we get into these big sponsors, we go to Europe, and a lot in the moment can make us forget of where we come from and start adopting things and cultures we don't know.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. But most importantly, thank you so much, for really taking the time to actually be part of this conversation. I think a lot of people learned so much from you. I also learned, a whole lot, like what you said right now, humble beginnings, never forgetting where you come from, as a person, and also the other thing, your motto is something that I also feel like I'm just going to adopt. Everything really depends on you as a person. Thank you so much, for everything. And thank you again to the audience that were watching. Thank you for being so patient with us, even though we had a bit of network technicalities. Thank you so much for the questions, for engaging with us on all social media platforms. And also thank you to Lerato Agency, that made us possible, and also to MTN Plus, for making this conversation possible. Thank you for empowering, women such as Thembi and everyone, in South Africa to actually, keep on hustling and actually making moves. Thank you so much. All right, so we've got a winner. We've got a winner from Facebook, and let us just do drum roll quickly. Congratulations, Pangasasa Ndlovu. You are the Strike a Rock winner. Okay, I'm gonna say you are a oh wow, that is actually nice. You are a Strike a Rock winner. That maybe doesn't make sense, but yeah, you are a winner of the signed copy, from Thembi Kgatlana and Strike a Rock. I hope that you're going to, enjoy, and don't forget to also tag Thembi Kgatlana, share maybe a bit about the chapters that you're going to learn from her book. But yeah, thank you so much. Okay, all right. So before I leave this chat, last question. You see this one, guys? You need to get it right. I hope you're on your phone. Which team is Thembi playing for overseas? You see with this one, you are winning yourself a phone, guys. A phone. So yeah, we're just gonna wait for a few minutes, but if not, we'll just check on the comment section and just DM you if you are a prize winner. Thank you so much, Thembi. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.